Black Ops 2 has officially been ported to the PS5, and boy oh boy have we been waiting for this one for a while. Ever since the League Play servers went offline back in 2015 and rendered the PS3 Platinum impossible, I never thought that I would ever achieve it. However, since they patched it with the new port, in today's video I got every single trophy, including the Platinum trophy on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. In total, Black Ops 2's main trophy list contains 51 trophies with the Platinum trophy. It took me a whopping, staggering, threatening even 57 hours to complete. It's rated at an 8 out of 10 on PSN profiles for difficulty, and it contains 3 different modes that we must play a lot of for the trophies, being the campaign, multiplayer, and zombies. So without further ado, let us begin this behemoth and legendary game of a Platinum Trophy grind. Now, starting off this grind, I am actually going to organize this video out of order in terms of the way that I usually do these videos, because I sort of bounced around between getting trophies across campaign, zombies, and multiplayer. Both due to the campaign burnout, because this game's campaign trophies are quite extensive, mostly due to us having to complete 160 challenges for a trophy, and also obviously having to beat it on the hardest difficulty, but also because both in zombies and multiplayer, you really do need, or at least you should try and get some friends to help you, because those are both very hard modes to get trophies in, and because it's just a lot more fun to play with people you know. However, for the sake of this video, part 1 will be all about the campaign, part 2 will be all about zombies, and part 3 will be all about the multiplayer. So welcome again to stage 1. Beat the campaign with the right choices, do all the challenges, and beat it on veteran difficulty. There's a handful of missable trophies that you might miss out on if you do not follow these exact steps, usually in the ending of a few missions. Now, I will touch back on those when we get to them, so don't worry. It's really not hard to do this as well, but our goal this first playthrough is to just do these choices. Grab the intel if you wish, and that's about it. You could technically try and do all of the challenges or the veteran playthrough as well right now. However, I wouldn't advise that because it's going to be far harder than if you just wait till after the campaign's over and then you do them both in separate runs. Overall, we're going to be doing 3 playthroughs of the campaign for all the trophies. But starting off with mission 1 of 11 in the game, being called Pyrrhic Victory. You first open up the game and get some cutscenes in the future with David Mason, who is the famous Alex Mason's son, the protagonist of Black Ops 1 if you remember the numbers. And you essentially barge into this car facility center where Woods, the legend himself, is at in his old age. Because moments ago, Menendez, who is Black Ops 2's infamous villain, was there. Now, we could go on and on about Menendez right now, but all we need to know for now is he's a very bad dude, the game's main villain and a massive threat to the world and his people. Now, much like the Black Ops campaign, this one features a very similar past, present, and future story flow. I love when Call of Duty does this. It truly is the perfect way to go about a story like this one, which spans decades and entire lifelong vendettas are built right before our eyes. But this first mission is a flashback to us playing as OG Daddy Alex Mason. And you get brought back into the military after what happened in Black Ops 1 for one last mission because Woods has gone MIA and he is deep in enemy lines with nobody else to save him. So that's our goal for this entire mission, rescue Woods. And upon starting it, we get a trophy called Big Leagues from starting the campaign. If your finger is on the pulse, then you'll know this used to be the League Play trophy as well, which is pretty neat.
That's what I'm saying.
But then the game truly does begin. We see a horrifying cutscene deep in Angola of a few soldiers burning alive. Kicking it off with a bang. I can't wait to blur half this video. Shout out to the emblem editor. You guys are f***ing torturing me with this one. Anyways, we then get introduced to Savambi, who is the good military leader that is helping us get behind the enemy lines. Bro is the GOAT. This mission is insanely iconic and it's f***ing dope overall. You literally just fight back the enemies and push further and further into their territory before ultimately having to flee back. Truly, this is one of the most epic intro missions to a COD game and I love it. Now, after succeeding in pushing them back, we had some room and safety to land our chopper and then load up the boys to head after Woods for good. We also got some intel as to who captured him, and I want you all to take a wild guess. For starters, we're gonna go with the story intel, a simple gun runner who is very dangerous. I mean, running with guns, you're not even supposed to run with scissors. Come on now, big dog.
You should treat yourself now.
So the game then fast forwards to the chopper finding the gunrunner convoy we are after. You then get shot down because, I mean, you think a gun running operation won't have guns on it? Let's be real. And then there is just all-out warfare on this very stingy boat. You also man multiple turrets as other enemy boats come flying after us. Again, insanely fun. I'm gonna sound like a broken record by the end of this video with how many times I say that, but this game is peak. Call of Duty peaked here, and this game released in, you know what? We're not gonna mention when it came out. I was busy in 2nd grade math class picking my nose. But after finally taking out the last boat in the convoy, we ripped open this ominous crate aboard and it was just full of death. This is what it looks like when you don't drop a like and subscribe to the Its Ilusion YouTube channel. Truly a mortal fate. However, in the very, very back corner with a heavenly light shining down, one man clung to life by the graces of God. Woods himself, or at least a shell of himself. Bro has been through quite literally hell. But this reunion was short-lived because a chopper then pulled up and nearly ripped us all to pieces. I took it down with a conveniently placed nearby tracking missile launcher. Man, gotta love gun-running boats. But then it crashed and our boat also did crash because, who the f was steering that thing the entire time? I just now realized that. We then swam to shore with Woods, and for the next few areas of the mission, we just stealthed around a bunch of troops. It was fun, not too hard, very much story flow. But then we end up detouring away from Hudson and Woods as Mason once again. And we go to this radio shack nearby to try and get access and call Savimbi to come extract us. However, once getting inside, we actually make contact with the gun-running guy that's leading this operation. And his name is none other than, oh, would you look at that, Menendez. This is our first time engaging with him, and I don't think any of the boys ever would have expected this one single moment to spawn a multiple decade-long rivalry and war, essentially. But he basically blows up the place with his grenade, we jump out, survive, and then it's just all-out chaos as we head down the river trying to get to shore and escape by boat as a literal army chased us. It was very, very exciting. The adrenaline is pulsing blood everywhere in my body right now. But once reaching our destination, sadly the enemies had another chopper pull up, just like the one from before, ready to shred us to pieces. But shockingly enough, it was actually the good guys after all, and Savimbi didn't leave us behind. You know, the homie never would. So that's the first mission completed, and I actually got 2 trophies after. First from rescuing Woods, and then from completing 1 challenge in any level, both very easy trophies. So beginning level 2 now, called Solarium. This one was set in the future a bit with us playing as David Mason this time. Now the plot for this one had us going into this super secret tech facility to find this piece of tech called, you know what, Solarium. Now spoiler, I wouldn't get any trophies during it until finishing it. But the level overall was very straightforward and cool. I'm not always a fan of the futuristic COD direction, especially with BO3, which video soon on that, by the way. But this one didn't overdo it. To get to the base, we first scaled the mountain, then we wingsuit glided down, and finally we sort of stealth, but basically just went all-out war on everyone, and you pretty much just fight enemies the entire mission. Outside, inside, all of the above. However, once getting deep in the place, we end up hearing a weird sound coming from a box, and it turns out they trapped a goddamn scientist in one of those. This same dude also helped us access the Solarium, which is like a super advanced, smarter than anything, faster than anything ever quantum computing device. I'm honestly not 100% sure what it really is. I ain't that smart to explain it, let alone understand it. But even the guy who handed it to us can't, because he was shot dead right after, so rest in peace, bro. You then fight a little bit more. However, after this last combat section, you end up regrouping with Admiral Briggs and the rest of our military gang, who also is here apparently. The mission then ends off a success, and we got another Sorcery Pop. Following that was then mission 3, and it was another set in the past mission called Old Wounds. Our goal this time was to simply gather intel on Menendez's cartel. To do this, we had to go to Afghanistan because America loves being there. No, but seriously, the Middle Easterns had info on it apparently, and in turn for us helping them fend off an all-out attack from the Russians, they agreed to give us the intel. Now, when I say an all-out attack, I mean it. This mission is another big-ass war mission, and it's one of the most fun in the game, let alone the COD franchise. You run around, or rather, you ride around on horseback in a desert, blowing up tanks, helicopters. It's just an insane time, and I loved it. There really isn't much else to say in terms of story until the more ending part of the level, because we end up actually confronting Kravchenko again, and we are in the past, so we are playing as Alex Mason. The numbers, they're back. Thankfully, we aren't as brainwashed as before, so we didn't get that affected when seeing him, and Woods also just knocked him out harder than your mother got knocked up. But once taking him back in the cave, this is when we get the first mission prompt that we need to follow. You'll see the numbers converging around you when interrogating Kravchenko, and you have to make sure to just spam square like you've never spammed square in your life. Resist them, baby. Because if you don't, then we will give in to the numbers and we'll blow his brains out. Now, I did do this correctly, but it's actually very funny because even when we don't shoot him, Woods just does it for us. I love my little onion.
I love you, bitch.
Unfortunately, we would end up getting backstabbed by the men who agreed to help us, since they are apparently tied in with Menendez, and we've officially been duped. Thankfully, though, they didn't kill us, just abandoned us in the desert to survive, or starve, I guess. And I'm honestly unsure of how we even got out of there. All that gets explained is that Tricky Vic Reznov did help us get out, but we already know that whenever Mason sees Reznov, it's just him having a psychotic break. So hopefully he gets back on those schizo medications sooner than later. But then the level does end, and I got 2 more trophies. First was the level trophy, but I also got the gun nut trophy from completing a level with a customized loadout, since I did that before it started, and that's a very easy trophy. Now after that level, you also unlock the first of 5 Strike Force levels in the game. These are side levels that actually do tie into the story a bit, but you play as a bunch of random ass soldiers doing objectives. It's very odd. I'm not totally sure why it's a thing. They also can be quite hard to complete, especially when doing the challenges on them later on. But in terms of trophies, we need to complete every single one as soon as possible when they appear, because if you don't, you will miss out on a trophy from doing them all a bit later on, and they also do disappear after a few missions anyways. And in addition to all of that, all of them do have trophies from completing them by themselves, so yeah, you have to do them regardless. After completing the first of these, being called FOB Spectre, I got the Defender trophy, and let's move on. These are very, very boring. Haha, just kidding. I actually did the second one right after because it was also available right now. Thankfully, the second Strike Force mission, called Shipwreck, wasn't as objective-based in terms of us defending. Rather, we were the attackers. And after just capturing all of the objectives, it ends off with us guiding a missile into a cargo ship. Actually, kind of fun this time. Here's that level's trophy as well. So we then reached the next main story level, being level 4, called Time and Fate, another set in the past mission as well. The plot this time had us raiding Menendez's very luxurious and extensive compound to capture him and bring him into custody. We did this all with the help of another foreign country, being Panama's dictatorship leader named Noriega. Now, spoiler, this guy is not a friend, obviously.
What do you mean by that?
But this mission is very fun because it actually shows and lets us play as Menendez. I think this is also the first COD game where you do play as the villain, if I'm not mistaken. Now, while as Menendez, in the intro, you see him take care of his beloved sister, who is the only family he has left. Before, however, Noriega's men barge in and take him and his sister into custody. This enrages Menendez a lot. You know, his sister is the most important person in the world to him, and she's basically the reason for his existence. It's kind of weird, but I guess bro just loves his family at the end of the day. However, when he wakes up from the sedatives, we see Noriega himself front and center. He betrayed the Americans here because obviously Menendez wasn't brought to them like we set up. Rather, he was then set free in return for Noriega to get a favor, I guess, from Menendez. But obviously, bro ain't like that, and we end up just punching his ugly face into more of an ugly face. And then you go on an absolute rampage through the compound, taking out every single enemy that comes in our path. Again, this was insanely fun. This game is peak. I don't even know what else to say anymore. It's just a f***ing go. Long story short, you rampage all the way up to where Menendez was just taken from, and once reaching his sister's room again, we see Woods and the gang also there because they are after him now, and a grenade from heaven falls in, blowing up the place, killing his sister and who knows who else. But that was not it for the level, because then we swap back and play as Mason, Woods, and Hudson now, going through their version of the events. You essentially just battle it out, making all the way to the compound, and it was pretty simple. We also reached the basement and saw their drug-making operation going at full speed. There also is some intel in here that is sort of hidden, but it exposes that there might be a plant in the CIA or a few plants in our ranks, so that's a bit of some fun lore for you. But then we do reach the faded hallway door. Once opening it, you then see how it all went down, and an absolute rage and revenge-fueled fire. Woods chucks a grenade at Menendez, however Mason kind of ticks it as it's releasing, changing its path ever so slightly, and therefore it fell into the room. But looking back at it, even if he didn't do this, Woods still would have been throwing a fucking grenade right at Menendez, who was in the middle of a hallway wrestling Hudson. So bro was gonna kill somebody regardless, and at least it wasn't our boy, I guess. After the explosion, a body then gets carried away, which is Menendez's sister, and the level essentially wraps up with a trophy from it like usual. Starting level 5 now, it's called Fallen Angel, and it's another futuristic level, with the goal being to gather intel on Menendez in Pakistan. The city is completely overrun by enemy forces. There is an all-out siege going on, which is actually perfect for us because under this guise of chaos, we ended up slipping through and then gathering intel through some pretty advanced listening devices on Menendez. Overall, you really don't learn all that much, other than the characters Menendez converses with pretty much roasting us for being dumb Americans, and also that something big is about to happen, which was probably already obvious. And after, or near the end, I guess, you end up also seeing that Menendez knew we were here the entire time, and they tried to World War II us, if you know what I'm saying. So we then had to battle our way to safety. You get to use a lot of cool ass drones to help out, and it was overall another very fun and well-made mission. mission. I will say though, the whole intel gathering thing did get very boring, especially doing it for the 3rd time on my future playthroughs. I would have loved the skip button for that for sure. Anyway, setting off the level, you then drive away and a very fun car chase happens. Like usual, it's a banger. And at the very end, another mission requirement is needed. We have to avoid this fire pulsing out of a pipe, and you can simply just hold far right to dodge it. I honestly thought I fucked it up, but apparently we did dodge it. So yeah, easy trophy, but it's also very easy to miss. I advise you be careful. If you do it right, you also get a trophy right away from avoiding having to get plastic surgery. The level then ends off with another trophy pop yet again from the story. And after that level's completion, another Strike Force level was then available called IED. This is the hardest one of the 5 by far. It's set in the same place as that desert war was, but like I just said, it actually is a challenge. I'm not going to talk much about it because again, they're very bland, but once completing it, I did get another trophy pop from doing so. Back to the main story now, level 6 then began, and this one was called Karma. It's set in the future, and our goal is to simply secure Karma. Now they don't mean like good vibes and shit, but rather a piece of tech, intel, or even maybe a person named Karma. It's entirely unknown what Karma actually is when going into this very expensive high-class resort that it's apparently at. Not great planning, not gonna lie. But you essentially just sneak in under the guise of like construction crew. However, our cover gets blown pretty much right away when running into some hired arms in the lower levels. We then fight a bit, control a drone to get access to somewhere else, which is very fun. Fight some more, but then we finally do hack into the main frame and we learn that Karma is a woman. So the goal changes to finding her and extracting her before Menendez's boys get to her. Unfortunately, she was all the way up in the nightclub, so we had to rush up there, and we were a tad bit too late because one of Menendez's generals caught her, and then there was a massive fight in the club. All in all, we survived after doing numerous slow motion combat scenes. My PP is feeling enlarged right about now, but that wasn't it because you then chase after Karma and you actually can get to her before she gets taken by the enemies. However, it's very hard to do that and you literally have to sprint past like every single enemy, so I failed to do that. And rescuing her was also a part of the mission requirement, so I also failed that. Thankfully though, if you do fail that, you can just do the next Strike Force mission, which has us rescuing her from captivity, so it truly does not matter how it goes, and yeah, pick your poison, I guess. After it ends off, I got another sword trophy pop. Now, like I just said, I then did do that Strike Force mission related to her right away, and I didn't do that just to keep up with pace, but because you have to. If you don't, it becomes unavailable after you do the next story mission, so yeah, not an option here. This one, however, is actually a pretty fun one. It's probably the only actual fun Strike Force mission in a general standpoint. It's completely cock and ball torture when doing the challenges on it later, but you know, playing like normal is fun. It's also called Second Chance, which is very funny because it quite literally is a second chance. Anyways, we found the girl in one of the many buildings, saved her, and another trophy pop from its completion. Mission 7 then began now, called Suffer With Me. Again, another mission having us capture someone. This time, it was actually Noriega, because again, he betrayed us, so he's a piece of shit. But this is also set in the past once more. It's actually the last past mission in the game. Now, capturing Noriega is actually very easy. You go through a grand total of 3 combat encounters before getting to him, and he's just posted up at a motel, getting some of that Lady of the Night action before we barged in and punched him in the head. Bro said that's the wrong head. You dog, Noriega.
You dog!
What the fuck? What do you think of that? What do you think of that?
Oh yeah, and we also got a trophy from capturing him called Dirty Business. But this is actually from mission 3 when we didn't shoot Kravchenko. I don't totally get that, but it popped here, so that's cool anyways. Now moving on, we then had to escort Noriega all the way through the city, which is under siege. There was a ton of fighting. It's a complete mess. Long story short, again, we reached our boys once more. But this mission isn't over because apparently there is some other high value target that takes priority and shows up for us to deal with. Someone gave us intel that apparently it's Menendez himself we've captured and he's underneath this hood, and we are allowed to take the shot and kill him. Kind of wild because we are Americans and America doesn't, or at least, you know, they shouldn't, just be assassinating people like this. Woods thought it was off, who is the character we play as, by the way. But before I get too far ahead of myself, because this is probably the biggest story moment in the game, you absolutely need to shoot this person in the leg twice because it's part of the mission requirements, and you'll see why if you don't already know. Now, after shooting him in the leg twice, you actually get a trophy called Family Reunion, because doing this unlocks us a secret ending to the game, which was very cool. But we then run down to see who it was, and the beans get spilled. Ripping off the hood, and we find out it was Alex Mason, our fucking boy the entire time, not Menendez. Menendez. Imagine getting scammed twice by the same dude who looks like this, bro. I've literally seen this exact same guy stuffing his face with tacos on the side of the road with a 200-pound, 5'2" baby mama. That's crazy work. Menendez, however, was actually here though, and he then showed up and then he shot us a little bit. There was then a famous execution scene between Woods, Hudson, and David Mason, who is the now gone Alex Mason's son, as we all know. Hudson ends up saying to just kill him because he's kind of an idiot. So Menendez does, leaving Woods with more rage than ever, David with no father and forever trauma, and yeah, here's that story to really pop. Now at this point, the game is then basically wrapped up and up to speed with everything in the past. And before we do get the ball rolling on the final strand of missions, I did go do the final Strike Force level, which I believe was called Dispatch. Again, it was pretty bland. This one was kind of neat though with our objective, however. All you have to do is capture this one very, very defended point, and once doing so, we open up this helicopter that crashed and we assassinate the evil Chinese leader inside. So rest in peace, Bozo. And here's that final Strike Force trophy pop. So all the remaining levels now are set in the future, or I guess the present. It makes sense. With level 8 being called Achilles Veil. The goal is for us to capture Menendez once more. And again, even with that same exact objective, they found a way to make it f***ing awesome. It opens up and we are playing as a guy that we got on the inside. Observing how Menendez functions, it's just peak. Long story short, all that war begins when we show up. They are ready for it, obviously, but we have to sneak through the city to reach where Harper is at, who is our informant. However, once making it there, Menendez ends up beating us to it. We then get tested to see our true loyalty because everybody knows that we are a f***ing rat. I mean, it's pretty obvious. And this is also another key moment where you need to shoot Harper and not Menendez. So I did, and it was low-key sad. Rest in peace, blue guy from Guardians of the Galaxy. We then swap to play as Mason next, and our goal is to chase after Menendez. Now I'm gonna speed through this because it's just a lot of fighting. Long story short, we find him, and he almost seemed like he wanted to get captured. I've seen this story 1,000 times, and it's never good, but hey, I guess we take it. The level then ends off with another story bop. Level 9 then kicks off, and it's called Odysseus. Shout out to the Odyssey movie, by the way. That was insanely good. Just saw it last night and I damn near cried. That was peak. Anyways, this level's goal is to just interrogate Menendez because we finally have him in captivity. However, the interrogation goes awry right away because he somehow gets out of his cuffs and points a gun at our boy before knocking the brains right out of our head. When you wake up, the entire ship is in chaos and Menendez's entire army is somehow on board and actively taking it over. For the rest of the mission, we then fight them off, trying to find Menendez and stop any further destruction he causes. You end up also taking his POV again and playing as him again. And there is also another story choice where you can either shoot Admiral Briggs in the head or just in the leg. And again, you must shoot him in the leg. So peaceful, aren't we? Oh yeah, we also learned that our boy Salazar here, who was like one of these side characters that has been helping us the entire game, is on Menendez's side the entire time. I'm unsure why he is, but thanks, bro. You f***ed us. Now to end off this mission, we just have to fight our way to the ship on the deck of this place. It's chaos, fun. I like when the bullet go brrr and the enemy go ah! Anyways, once reaching the ship and X filling out, I got 3 trophies actually. First was called Ship Shape from completing every single Strike Force mission. Second was called Good Karma from getting that Karma Girl on our team in the past missions and then doing, you know, all of those choices I've been saying. And finally was just the story pop from that level that we just did. Now I'm gonna be a bit of a weirdo and I'm gonna pause the story flow since I actually stopped here before the end and I went back and I did everything that I missed up till this point. Both because we have gotten all the missable trophies from story actions and because we have unlocked essentially everything we needed for challenges or the loadouts at this point. I also might have accidentally rolled back my save and didn't have a continue point on my game, so yeah. The first thing I did was just replay the Achilles Veil mission, and instead of shooting Harper, I shot, or, you know, tried to shoot Menendez, which got me a trophy called Ultimate Sacrifice. But then I went back from start to end and I did all of the challenges in every single level. Each and every single level in this game contains 10 challenges. They vary drastically on each, both in what they contain, but also the difficulty of them. However, there are some staples, like gathering all intel on each level, no dying, things like that. Overall, it is hard, however, it's not like insane or anything. I also have done this before a few years ago, so I kind of knew what to expect, and in my opinion, it's not really that much of a challenge. It's just very time consuming. The first trophy I got during this was called Mission Complete from completing all the challenges in a level, and I got this obviously on the first level of the game, so here's the trophy pop. I then farmed out the challenge on every level up till 10, which is where I stopped playing, and I only got one other trophy during this called Showdown, which was pretty much just the reverse of the Good Karma trophy, so just do everything opposite of those things that we did before, and yeah, shouldn't be an issue, and here's the trophy pop. Now, beginning the 10th level and second to last level now, called Cordis Die, which translates directly to drop a like on this video. That's crazy work. Thanks, Menendez. This one was very fun. The goal is to protect POTUS, which means the President of the United States, if you don't know. And it's set all in LA as a war is happening. Honestly, looks the same as it does right now, but hey, moving on. The mission is insane, like it's just insanity. Black Ops 2 absolutely nails the feeling of war and chaos every single time they do it. I truly cannot describe how it feels to play some of the levels in this game. It's insane. But overall, the level isn't that hard. It's also quite short in hindsight. The worst part is actually the very ending when you're manning this gunship, because our objective is to protect the convoy below us, but it's just super fucking weird. And the flying mechanics, quite honestly, suck balls. Like, I don't know what they were doing with this shit, but it just did not work. Those playtesters in 2012 must have sold, because goddamn, they did not tell them that it was ass cheeks. But long story short, we saved the president and the level ended with a sword pop. So the final level, Judgment Day. This is the magnum opus level of the game where all comes together. One last push to stop Menendez from launching a ton of nukes and shit and destroying the world, and also capturing him for good and stopping his reign. You begin by diving down into his super fucking advanced and secure facility. A ton of fighting happens outside. It's a genuine challenge, but once you do make it inside, it's just more of the usual fight, and fight. After reaching this terminal, the place begins to fall apart and it's about to get blown up, so we have to rush out. Now again, there's just more and more fighting, but once making it past numerous combat encounters, the floor literally falls beneath us and we slide down the rubble, taking out some final enemies before landing on Menendez. If that ain't fate, I don't know what is. Now you also can choose to either pop his brains or take him alive, and in the past when I played this game, I think every single time I've just killed him, and I've never kept him alive once because f this guy. But I thought, hey, let's just see what happens if I do. After choosing his fate, a droid pops no matter what from that choice. We then walk him out and he is taken off to prison with the final sword trophy from that level popping. The ending cutscenes then play out and we saw a lot of stuff. Alex Mason ends up being alive because, again, we didn't shoot him in the head. Kinda crazy, love to see it. But we also see Menendez get out of jail, so, yeah, maybe we should have shot him after all. Anyways, it then got 2 more trophy pops after, being 10k from getting a minimum score of 10,000 in every mission, and high I from collecting all of the intel in the game. So that is basically every normal campaign trophy done with, besides like 2 random ones and the vet difficulty and all challenges. And that's what I went after next because I was already like 60 to 70% through them. Now the base game mission challenges aren't even the bad part. It's those goddamn Strike Force missions. Literally added on 5 more hours because of how annoying some of those challenges are. I would not recommend to a friend to say the least. But after all was said and done, I did complete every single one the trophy popped, thank God. I then real fast went back and I got the last 2 random trophies I had left in the campaign, both gotten on time and fate as well. First, I just went for the back in time trophy from using a future weapon in the past. And I'm not positive what all you can use for this to count, but I just used this setup on screen, and all you have to do then is complete the mission. And while playing as Menendez's Rampage, you can also get the Man of the People trophy from stopping the brutality of the PDF. This is in relation to when we rampage and some enemy soldiers are harassing innocent civilians in the streets. It's pretty simple, just stop and kill all the people in fights. There's numerous videos out there if you're lost, and yeah, easy trophy pop. I then just finished the level again, very easy. Here's that trophy as well. Now the next 3 trophies in this campaign were all from the veteran difficulty completion. Now Black Ops 2 on veteran is pretty hard, but it's not nearly as bad as most Call of Duty games. It's very easy compared to Black Ops 1. You also can choose your loadout, and I used the death machine and grenade launcher the entire time, which also made it a complete joke with how easy it did become. So yeah, really nothing to say about this. I didn't struggle pretty much at all anywhere. I did, die here and there, but overall, nothing to say. It was insanely easy. So here's all 3 of those trophies related to the veteran difficulty, and we are now finished with the campaign trophies, finally. Alright, so stage 2 of the platinum is going to be us doing all of the zombie trophies. Now every single one can and needs to be done on Green Run or Transit, the famous Black Ops 2 map for numerous reasons. Personally, I think it's ball cancer. Now I didn't have much fun on these for numerous reasons, but the only hard trophy in this stage is called Tower of Babel from Obeying the Voices in Transit. Another schizophrenia reference. I'm seeing a pattern here. Anyways, this is in relation to completing the Easter egg on Transit, and it's not easy. I did the Maxis side of it, or rather tried to, for hours with the boys because it's far easier than the Recoffin side. Now the steps for this Easter egg are very simple, literally containing 5 total. Simply build the turbines at the beginning, get RNG with the EMP from the mystery box, turn the power on and off, charge the pylon in the cornfield by using the EMP on the electric guy villain thing, and finally place 2 turbines under a lamppost simultaneously with your teammates. Shout out to this video tutorial, by the way, for the guide and references. Now even though these steps are simple, execution is not, especially if you don't know what you're doing like myself and my team. I want to say a huge thank you and shout out to my boys Quest, Gas, Tufted Wing, and Grumpy for playing with me and trying to do the Easter egg. We spent like 6 hours attempting this over and over, and it was a disaster. The boys, being, you know, Quest and Gas, thought they knew what to do, but they they did not. So we definitely did not know, or they didn't. Yeah, it was so bad. Bridges were burned to say the least, but they got rebuilt, so all is well. Now, before we do get into the actual Easter egg misery, I did get one trophy just called "I don't think they exist" from killing one of the denizens when it's lashed onto you. These are a very annoying enemy which will jump on your head every time you go into the fog between locations in transit. It is the most annoying thing ever, and multiple of our runs, if not all of them, got screwed because these things just ruin everything. So yeah, killing one felt good. Here's right, Bob. But getting to the Easter egg, we literally just failed over and over and over for hours. There also was some issues with the recordings of our voices, so I don't have the endless bickering, but Quest did record him and Gas's audio, which for whatever reason didn't pick up mine or Grumpy's. So I'll just play that out from what we do have. It's basically just nonsense, and if it doesn't make sense at all what we were doing or talking about, then that's okay. Don't worry, because I genuinely have no idea what the these dudes were doing. I love you guys, but holy shit. This is literally the blind leading the blind into a nuclear power plant. What the is going on?
Alright, Gas, let's go.
Did you guys kill the crawler? Okay, wait. Stop killing.
There's way too many. Yeah, they're still spawning.
To get. Oh.
They're still spawning. Like, we're chilling. Relax. Okay, this guy's last.
Don't even make it a crawler. Just keep it a fast sprinter, okay? If you guys want, grenade it into a crawler, okay?
Yeah, we'll tell you when to end round. Gas, you good?
You're lucky you got the ballistic knife, Kermit.
Yeah, you good? Where are you? There you are. We'll wait until we're right under the pylon before we end round. Alright, Gas, I'll wait here by the entrance.
Yeah, like we should really Bob Bowie knife.
It's on the verge of breaking, isn't it?
It takes a second. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, we'll pick it back up. Because it's just, yeah, because that's gonna happen. So we had to time
Did he
this.
just die out?
Okay. Yeah, end the round. He's over us. Yeah.
Okay, it still works. I'm gonna keep it for
Okay,
now.
he spawned. He just spawned.
Oh,
he just
car.
spawned.
He spawned at like the car, Kermit. I saw that.
Yeah.
And remember, do make a crawler or two. Alright?
Yeah, so you got right, I got left.
Probably would be easier if you guys made one or not.
Gas, right side,
He's going
right
to the
side.
He's right side. I'm placing my turbine down.
Yeah, same. Okay, he's at the shotgun me, that's okay. Oh damn, that's insane.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, I'm dead.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I had to reload, dude.
Got him. Did we... Did you do it?
Hang on, Gas, I'll try and get you in just a second.
I already impeded him. I don't know if we got... Oh, that's tricky. I don't know if we did or not, Kermit, because... Oh.
Your turbine might broke. Okay, no, we'll take our time.
I don't know
Take
if we
our
did or
time.
not, because I don't think the... Yeah.
Well, we'll wait.
I don't... We'll
I don't
test in a
think we
second, because I already impeded him.
I think it's...
Yeah, no, we got it. I think we got it. We just got it. Okay, let's go do the turbines.
Actually, Gas, if you stay by that lamppost, I'll go to the one by the cabin. Illusion, give me your turbine.
Yes.
Okay. I guess you know what to do. Ah, shit.
Okay, I got double swiped by 2 zombies.
Okay, I'm coming back.
There.
I'm shooting him. Someone revive him. Yeah.
Okay, seriously, save a fucking zombie, bro. Oh my god.
Just a second. I'll protect you, Illusion.
Protect.
I ran out of ammo.
He's rezzing.
Yeah. I got you.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay, we have a crawler.
Right here. End the zombies. Kill zombies, okay?
Placing mine.
X marks the spot.
We might have failed that step, Gas. We might have to do it again.
What, Kermit?
Okay, Gas, pick up your turbine. We'll do it at the same time. Hang on. Alright, go. No, we didn't do the Avogadro step correctly.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought.
No, we did. We got the quote. We got the quote.
No, it's not.
No, we know what to do. We got the quote, but we fucked up. Yeah, we did it. Wait, do we have to build a nav card table?
No.
Let's just wander around until we're all dead. How's
Let me double check something. Hang on, I'm looking this up. I just want to make sure.
No, it's still green. I think we have to do Avogadro step again.
No, he said activate the Spire's power.
What?
Max has just said to activate the Spire's power. So we did something wrong. I'm looking this up.
I'm convinced we didn't do Avogadro step correctly,
Yeah.
Kermit.
Okay, we'll build it now then.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Kermit, when we play EZZ, it says the nav card table is already crafted for us. We have to build it.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Okay, we're building it then. We can get it done right now.
When we start in the game, it literally pops up saying nav card craft already tabled.
Oh my god!
So yeah, long story short, we never managed to do it. I did get the trophy from killing the electric dude though without being attacked, however, because if somebody in the lobby does get that, then everybody does, so here's a trophy pop. But then a few days passed before I teamed up with some other legends that actually did know how to do the Easter egg, and we managed to get it basically first try. So huge shout out to Brandon and Dwight for being the goddamn carries. These dudes are legit as zombies, and we breezed through this shit. It did get pretty hectic, however, when it did come time to take out the electric guy, but all went well after all was said and done. And once those two legends placed those turbines under the lamppost, Joy popped and I creamed a little bit. Now, the remainder of the trophies in this stage are all very simple. They are for the most part entirely just random, and the next two I got were just from using the teleporter for the first time, which is activated by just placing a turbine next to a location and going through it, and then from getting the tombstone perk and then dying. After the next round begins, then just run to it and pick up your loadout, and the Dance in My Grave trophy will also pop. Now, there actually is one more hard trophy, but it's also kind of a gimmick. It's called Don't Fire Until You See, from having all doors open without being set on fire. Now, the reason I say it's a gimmicky is because you don't actually need to open them yourself, and as long as you yourself don't touch fire and the rest of the lobby opens up every door, it'll pop. So that helps a lot. There is numerous locations where fire seeps through the floor, and even grazing it catches you on fire, so it truly is a hard task. But again, the boys got them all open. I avoided any fire that came away and the trophy popped. We then farmed out the remaining trophies. Again, a huge shout out to Brandon and Dwight. They are goats. But the only three I had left that I did with them all from completing all of the bus editions, buying 2 different perks for turning on power, and acquiring 4 different equipable items in one game. First, we have the bus editions trophy, and I honestly have zero clue where you find any of them. There is 3 parts, being the plow, ladder, and the hatch. Once all of them are required, the trophy pops. Next, being happy hour, very self-explanatory, just buy 2 perks for turning on the power. Probably the easiest trophy in the zombies list, and here's the trophy pop. And finally, standard equipment may vary. Acquire 4 different equipable items in one game. This is in relation to the turbine, zombie shield, turret, and electric trap. Each can and will be built in the different locations of transit. Again, I'm not positive how you build them. The carries did that for me, but it's really not that complex. You just gotta find the parts. Again, there's many tutorials out there, and once equipping it, find one, I got the trophy pop. Now, I then hopped on another day, and I got the final zombie trophy in the list with quest once more, being called the Lights of Their Eyes. From pacifying, meaning hitting, 10 zombies with 1 EMP. Honestly, a very easy trophy if you get good RNG, but if you don't, you might die over and over like me and the homie did. However, all this requires is just getting the EMP from the box, training up at least 10 zombies, then chucking it and praying it works. It did for me first try once we finally got it all set up, and yeah, here's that final zombie trophy on Black Ops 2. So the final stage of our time here today, the multiplayer trophy stage. Without a doubt, the longest stage in the list just because of one trophy. Welcome to the penthouse from prestiging once in multiplayer. Reaching prestige in Black Ops 2 takes over 1.2 million XP points. Averaging, if you're lucky, about 14,000 XP around means this will take a pretty long time. And it's the reason this video didn't go up like 3 days ago. I've literally just been slaving in multiplayer and I want to cry. Now, before reaching that, I did get the other multiplayer trophies, which are all very simple and collective. The first thing I did was just go for the game mode specific trophies, being trained up and party animal from winning 10 combat training games and 10 party game playlist matches. Both of these modes are a bit weird, but really not hard to win at all, especially in party mode because being in the top 3 counts. Before either of those popped though, I did just reach rank 10, however, which was the first trophy of this section. But then the grind did set in. I ended up getting that party animal trophy first, which really wasn't that bad. Shout out to the homies who joined up to play and fill lobbies, by the way, since that can be dead sometimes. Same with combat training. We actually managed to get a full lobby of the friends and homies, so that was very easy and fun. But yeah, other than those trophies, this entire stage is just a grind. It's very boring. I also don't really enjoy multiplayer on COD that much anymore. I think the years of making videos on them kind of wore my soul down, so yeah, I didn't really have a fun time, to be honest. But hey, it did feel pretty good to get that damn prestige trophy finally after days of playing, and the platinum trophy on Call of Duty Black Ops 2. So that was the BO2 platinum trophy experience. I gotta say, this game is a banger. It's still amazing to me how games that are well over a decade old with a fraction of the budget and team as modern games are still just leagues better. I don't know what went wrong on the way, but something did, and all I can hope for is that COD makes a comeback sooner than later because it's getting sad at this point. But that's all. BO3 next, and I'll see you guys then. Peace out, boys.